Well, doesn't it sometimes have to be an impressionable statistic? I mean, if somebody says, well,
a lot of times that's what makes it impressionable. Yeah, look at, what's her name? She was the lady that lost her leg, is married to Paul McCartney. She got run over by a policeman, a bobby in England. And how much good has she done people? Tremendous. But maybe there wasn't anybody selfless enough to accept that, to be a speaker in that way, so she took the brunt of it. I think if you look back in history, you find a lot of teachers that came to this world had a lot of suffering in their life. And you go, well, why was that as part of the process? They were the one to bear the price for everyone else. Okay? So it's not like you're being punished out of karma, but let's take somebody who's already made it and let's let them suffer so we learn the lesson. One way or the other, we get the lesson, and it comes to a lot of times from innocence. So don't think that somebody's always guilty of something who gets punished. Don't believe that karma's out to get you. It's not true. The universe does not punish anyone. It does not accuse, condemn, criticize anyone. We're all perceived as equals. The universe is one being. It's inseparable. So when you have more, we'll have more evidence as we go further. I don't want to debate this right now, okay? I'll just say to you that the experiences that are coming your way are a test of your character. And let's see how much we can prove of that this week.
I wasn't going to debate it, but I just wanted to mention, when I looked on TV and I look at St. Teresa or Gandhi or certain people, and especially those two, it felt like they had such a resonating energy coming out of them for me, that it was just so peaceful. It's like,
yeah, even though they were suffering.
Huh?
Even though they were suffering.
I couldn't see that.
Well, they're the only ones that could handle the suffering and keep up the peaceful emulation.
See, we're lucky because we're going to be...
Are you willing to suffer?
They don't.
Are you willing to suffer?
Yeah, I have.
Are you willing to sacrifice your judgments? That's going to cause your pride to suffer. Your soul will win. Small suffering, what's the gain? You will be emulating your soul's attributes if you do. Who wants to suffer? Most of us are avoiding it. I say bring it on. If whatever it takes for you to be enlightened, you should say, I'll take it now. Thank you very much. Yes. You should, because that's what you're here for, that's what you've chosen. You would be in this class tonight if you hadn't chosen it. You'd be at home going, I don't think I need that course. That's true. You wouldn't be here. So just try it this week. Look at your life and ask yourself, you're resolving yourself every night over impacts and things that have occurred during the day and the week. There are major things and minor things. But what has the major test this week been about? Is it repeating itself? And what's the lesson? Find out what the test is. It's a test of your character. So what is it you've judged? Now here's one way to tell. When you go home tomorrow, or tonight and tomorrow, turn on the television if you've got one. Or even turn on your favorite piece of music and sit and listen to it. And for that hour that you're listening, see how many times you make a judgment or a criticism in your mind. How long can you go maintaining your own peace of mind before you lose it? How long before you have to go in and take time out to resolve yourself? And you'll find that it's not you that's creating the problem, but it may be just a habit of self-talk. You may be suggesting things to yourself you had no intention of ever suggesting, but they're on a habitual wheel. So you think them, say them, next thing you know, you're feeling awful. A good sign that you are being tested is when you start feeling less than great. The moment you don't feel good anymore, ask yourself, what'd you do? And the answer is, I judged something. I actually said to myself, I don't like this, I don't like that. Or I judged something. Or I'm feeling vulnerable and I'm about to judge. Because when you're objective, you feel good all the time. And that's the dichotomy. That only the objective know what it is to see both sides of the coin. That those who are still suffering from fault finding are paying the price to evolve. But rarely have they had freedom in the objective world for more than an hour to know that taste. And if they had it, they wouldn't give it up. They'd be fighting for the resolve every time they lost it. And so it's just a habit. We will find in the next week or so that our habit of acceptance needs to be developed. And our habit of rejection has to be outgrown. And to do that, we have to become wise about something. We have to become wise of the fact that the people we are evaluating, they have the right to be seen correctly. They're souls in an evolving process, whether they know it or not. You don't have to say that to them, but just be mindful of the fact that that's who they are. And one day that person or one life is going to make it. And you're going to be best friends. But in this life, you might not like them because they scared you or something. We'll learn that, over the next 12 weeks, you'll learn how to deal with that, okay? You'll learn how to deal with criticism. But I just need you to prove to yourself that there are judgments going on that you would rather not be making, that there are tests occurring every day that are forcing you to recognize that you should be more accepting, but you may not know that. And that's all it is. If you have 10 experiences today, and they're all good, what's it like to go to bed at night?
Nice, sweet.
If you have 10 experiences and 5 are miserable, then it was your reaction to those 5 miserable people that made you feel like you needed to resolve yourself. Well, I want to go one step further and say, why do you think this is happening? The whole idea that we can tell that we need our resolve is because of an innate presence in you. There's an intelligent presence working through our glands, our body, our system, our blood, our neurons, our chemistry that says the minute you judge, your feelings will change. So you'll know. It's not a punishment. It's just a change, a syndrome, a personality syndrome. So the minute you correct yourself, what's it feel like? Feel like you got yourself back. When you restore your conscience, what's that feel like? You feel whole again. So the idea of atoning has always been out there, but people didn't realize you have to do it every second. That you have to be constantly resolved by being free from judgment altogether. And as soon as you step into that world, everything changes for you. Just accept the fact that people are souls. They're not people. They're evolving, and they need to go through what they need to go through. And sometimes they just happen to do it around you. Okay? Accept that fact, and you will gain from it. Be detached from your anger, your criticisms. But those are the 5 words I'm going to need you to study. The primary word is feeling threatened. Having a reaction causes the loss of love and trust. Now, if you've judged someone historically for being critical of you or for having betrayed you, I don't blame you for not wanting to trust them again. But why distrust when you can know that they're just not trustworthy? Don't create something else. Just go, okay, I know. I can't trust them till they can trust themselves. And that'll be when they are living up to their conscience every day. Until then, I'm not going to watch them starve to death. I'm not going to scream and yell at them. I'll be friendly. Right? I'll be humane. I'll be spiritual. You choose for yourself how you want to be. But avoid the negativity when it comes to this. So what you have to do tomorrow is when you go for a walk, turn on the TV, talk to someone on the phone. I want you to observe yourself. I want you to tell yourself, are you reacting? Are you judging? Are you fault-finding today? Or are you keeping your resolve? And if so, what's the cost to keep your resolve? Now you're gonna be up against a neurological habit that says don't accept. Let me give you a vision. How many of you know the story about Jesus or saw the movie, The Passion? Jesus is up on the cross, he's suffering, and Mel Gibson gets it so that it's just really a crucifixion scene, the way it really was. But if you have a belief that